Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Real Talk with Saieed Ali. I am your host, Saeed. We do want to thank you for joining us, viewers. Remember, it's a new week. So, Sandy Grande, the attorney, was arrested on Sunday after police found the main suspect in Candace Honoree's murder hiding in his office. Honoree, 22, was reported missing on July 11th and discovered dead last Thursday. Her body stuffed in a suitcase and dumped in a shallow pond in Valencia. Police said the suspect, believed to have known Honoree, sought legal help from the attorney on Thursday, the same day her body was found. Unable to pay the full legal fee, he was allegedly allowed to stay in the lawyer's office while arrangements were being made. So Trinidad and Tobago, he was allegedly allowed to stay in the office while monetary arrangements were being made. So, talk of the town, suspect went in the attorney's office, didn't have all the money. Maybe attorney tell him, well, you know what? Make up the money and I will go with you in the police station. So happens, Trinidad and Tobago, police acting on a tip-off raided the office and arrested both men. The attorney is expected to be charged with harboring a fugitive. Now, Trinidad and Tobago, this is a law from ever since in our country. Ever since you could remember, as long as you are harboring a criminal, you will be charged. But nevertheless, as the story unfolds, viewers, we're going to bring the latest to you in Trinidad and Tobago. You know, it's my thing. The attorney supposed to know better. You are an attorney. You have people coming in and out of your office. You probably have officers coming in and out your office for advice. It's sad. It's really sad. But nevertheless, Trinidad and Tobago. Nevertheless. So we have a problem in Trinidad now with those that are holding high office. Listen to this, Former Prime Minister Dr. Rowley is calling on the Police Commissioner, Alyssa Gravero, to provide valid explanation as to why he is on an Interpol watch list. At a press conference on Monday, Rowley revealed he was recently detained in Antigua on Bermuda. While en route to Montserrat, after allegedly being flagged on Interpol's watch list. He accused Trinidad and Tobago state entities of fabricating claims to tarnish his reputation internationally. Listen to this.
I call this development nothing more than a dastardly defamation fabricated, constructed, and executed by the government agencies of Trinidad and Tobago, led by a government which seems to be more interested in retribution, hate, spite, divisiveness. And the only such a government will put this stain on Trinidad and Tobago.
Rowley is demanding from the Prime Minister and state entities about why his name appeared on the list, insisting he has done nothing wrong. Rowley.
Putting this squarely in the lap of the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago and the Commissioner of Police of Trinidad and Tobago and the Attorney General, who, it is my view, this development is the kind of development I would expect from the Attorney General of Trinidad and Tobago, an individual that I will get back to in the not too distant future. What is the guiding factor that would have caused the authorities in Trinidad and Tobago to get my name into the international community as a person who has issues with criminality in Trinidad and Tobago.
So now viewers, Rowley called for the immediate removal from the Interpol's watch list. He wants his name removed, warning that such misuse of state power threatens not just his reputation, but the rights of all citizens. Now I'll tell you something, Trinidad and Tobago. Interpol doesn't need the help of a local law enforcement to put your name on our watch list. Let me just make that clear right there. Interpol doesn't need TTPS help in putting someone's name on our watch list. So Rowley coming out now and blaming the President Commissioner or the Prime Minister, nah, you start bad. You should have found out first before you start labeling. Okay, good. So Trinidad and Tobago, let's hold on to that story. Hold on to that story. I just want to say this now. We're going to this story here. In a significant development in the CEPEP court case, Chief Executive Officer Saieed Ali has claimed he was pressured by former local government minister Saieed Ali to approve the mass renewal of contracts without cabinet approval just days before the April 28 general election. So we'll go back to that story, viewers, by just giving you something to hold on, right? So we're going back to Dr. Rowley. Now, for the last 9 years and some months, every time a issue or a corruption matter would raise in Trinidad, you would see a distraction. So listen this. TTPS released a bulletin from their department saying that Dr. Rowley is not on any Interpol watch list. TTPS bulletin. Trinidad and Tobago. If Rowley, a former prime minister, made a statement saying that he is on Interpol watch list after TTPS department reviews such a video sent to them. I mean, this is something important, right? This is something important. Interpol don't play. They monitor criminal gangs-related issue all around the world. So TTPS went now and find out if Dr. Rowley was on their watch list. And to their surprise, Dr. Saieed Rowley, a former Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, was not on their watch list. Imagine that, eh? So now, viewers, my question is this a distraction to lead Trinidad and Tobago away from an important corruption matter where almost $1.4 billion is being used under CEPEP? So we go into the story now. In the CEPEP, Eddie, in a sworn affidavit filed on July 17th, said such a move was unprecedented during his 9-year tenure at the state-owned company, which is CEPEP. He is also challenging on affidavits by former CEPEP chairman Joel Edwards, who denied that cabinet approval was required or obtained for the extension of 336 contracts. Edward has previously stated that the board note referencing cabinet approval was inaccurate. He claimed he had ordered a revised version of the note but could not locate a copy in his record. Eddie has disputed that claim, accusing Edward of misrepresentation. In his affidavit, Eddie said the proposed contract extension would have cost the state an estimated $1.4 billion, and given the scale of the expenditure, prior cabinet approval was necessary, particularly since the contracts were to be extended for up to 3 years, not just 1. Eddie also addressed the claim that cabinet approval had been granted for the contract's extension. He said he was informed by Edward that approval had been received. So Trinidad and Tobago, a $1.4 billion jumping up in steel band. Who inherited $1.4 billion? And since cabinet did not approve the contract extension, where is the money? Where is the money? So all those people who were protesting on the streets and saying the UNC send them home and the UNC closed down CEPEP and the UNC and the UNC and the UNC. I told you all right here. Ask your contractor if he is legit. So you cannot blame the job you're doing for where you are today. You should be asking your contractor, is your contract legit? But then again, we who get a daily bread, we ain't going to ask the contractor, well, boy, you know, we just want to know if you're legit. No, all you're not going to do that because all I get called out to work. So you're going and work for your $80 or your $100 or whatever the case may be. But now we have $1.4 billion jumping in steel band. $1.4 billion. So I want to ask now, this is my question, to TTPS, to the various ministries, and to the ministers. Who is going to be held accountable for this? Is somebody going to be held by TTPS? Because if the cabinet did not approve these contracts, who said? Who was the person saying that yes, it is approved by cabinet? And with you, because are you in position now, everybody lower than you now will say, okay, the contract's approved, and they will start doing documents, only to realize cabinet didn't approve it. My question is, what is going to happen to that individual? That is my question. Misrepresented, false information, fraud. Is TTPS going to just let that go just so? Is the UNC ministers going to just let that go just so? Because let me tell you something. We're talking about $1.4 billion in taxpayers' money. Some contractors would have inherited. Who is going to be held accountable for this? This is my tax money jumping up there. This is my company tax money jumping up there. And what? Racketeering. Somebody say something. So now, since this hits the public domain, not too long after, Dr. Rowley came out now and said, Interpol pulled him in. Dr. Rowley is blaming the UNC now, as normal, no difference for the last 9 years. Blaming the commissioner, blaming the prime minister, blaming the UNC. How could they put my name on Interpol? But let me tell you something, let me just correct your statement. Interpol do not need help from Trinidad and Tobago Police Service to monitor you. They don't need their help to put your name or any other citizen name in Trinidad and Tobago on their watch list. CID, let me tell you something. CID don't need Trinidad and Tobago to monitor somebody. I want you to understand that. TTPS don't need you to monitor John Doe in the community. I'll again mislead. You're getting tied up. Call her good night.
Good night, Saeed.
Go right ahead.
All right. You remember when Keith Rowley did with the email gate?
Correct.
You see now? This is what you see now, that he always try to put the opposition in a position to make them look like they're guilty of something. Now, Interpol is an international organization, and as you rightfully say, they don't have to contact the government, nor the police, or anybody down there.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you, my friend. Interpol is an international organization that doesn't need help from a government or the police service in that country because they're watching John Doe. They're not going to wise them up. So now I'm asking myself, is this a distraction that Dr. Rowley created? Because TTPS came out and said, when they did their checks and the balance, they came out and said, Dr. Rowley's name is not on Interpol list. So I'm asking myself now, did Dr. Rowley create a distraction to get away from this CEPEP fraud? Ask yourself that. So viewers, we are going for a short commercial break, but when we come back, there's lots more in store. Stay tuned in.
We'll be right back.
When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on the roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
Real Talk Financing is offering you 5% on a fixed deposit for 5 years and over, with upfront interest. Contact our central office at 238-6716 or our San Fernando office at 242-9944. You don't want to miss this great opportunity. Invest today and watch your investment work for you.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Real Talk Group of Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saeed, Managing Director of Real Talk Group of Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Carney Savannah Road, Chaguanas, or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the glaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real public concern, because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
Welcome back.
Welcome back to Real Talk viewers. Oh, just before I go further, Real Talk Credit Union at number 14 Carolina Savannah Road in Shoguners viewers will be closed from today until next week Monday due to maintenance at the office. So we do apologize for any inconvenience, viewers. Any business you have with the central office, you can go down south and conduct business as normal. We do apologize for the inconvenience. But nevertheless, viewers, remember Real Talk Financing is offering you 5% on a fixed deposit. It's not going to be around much longer. I am just letting you know. So those of you who want the offer, remember, contact my office, 2386716, 3391670. Viewers, set up an appointment, come in, get your documents, and collect your interest up front. You don't have to wait 5 and 10 years again, viewers. We are the only financial institution in Trinidad and Tobago that is giving you your interest up front. Let me tell you something. Banks cannot comprehend how we're doing it. They can't. I've been in the finance industry for almost 30 years. When they come good. Call a good night.
Right, good night, Saeed.
Go right ahead.
You know why Kid Rowley's name is on that blacklist with Interpol? It's because of his close associate with Maduro. Maduro has been sanctioned and blacklisted in America, and Rowley's close relationship with Maduro, and remember he was accused of narco trafficking and what have you. And to add, why I want to make the point for your side, is that the American government assisted our government in giving them patrol boats and all these things to close our borders.
Thank you, my friend. I understand. So, Trinidad and Tobago, in a response to Dr. Rowley's claim of political persecution over his inconclusion on an Interpol watch list, former Commissioner of Police Gary Griffith is questioning Rowley's sudden outrage. In an interview, Gary reminded Rowley of several controversial actions under the former PNM administration. Listen to this.
This is the same Keith Rowley who was instrumental in Emailgate when lies came forward into Parliament under the cloak of Parliament, smeared the name and character of many others, from the Prime Minister to several other ministers and myself. This was under the same Keith Rowley's government that a government minister gave a directive to the police to go to Barbados, upon which they illegally abducted a Trinidad and Tobago citizen. This was the same Keith Rowley that personally turned the president's house into a post office and carried a fake report with lies by a civilian who had no authority, and used that as an avenue to withdraw a merit list.
Now, viewers, he argued that Rowley had perfected the misuse of state resources to target, criticize, even spending millions to fund political motivated police investigation. Now, he said, Rowley seeks sympathy because Interpol, a body beyond his influence, is involved.
Keith Rowley has done so much to destroy his own legacy, and now he has the audacity to be speaking about what other persons may have done to him. Interpol cannot be reached by politicians. So Keith Rowley needs to defend his own self and stop trying to point fingers at others.
So Trinidad and Tobago, just a quick suggestion, right? Next thing you know, Interpol now decided to come down on Dr. Rowley and ask Dr. Rowley where he got his information from. Because of the fact that TTPS did an investigation, they put out a bulletin on their official website stating that Dr. Rowley name is not on Interpol's list. Imagine that, eh? The former top cop said Rowley current predicament is a result of the same tactics he used once again. Others declaring, What goes around comes around. But Trinidad and Tobago, my thing is Dr. Rowley trying to shift Trinidad and Tobago from focusing on the CEPEP, mismanagement, misuse, fraud, no cabinet approval, contractors. Is Dr. Rowley trying to shift the views of the people from something such importance at Trinidad and Tobago, where $1.4 billion of taxpayers' money are jumping up? Ask yourself that. Sit down and think. All these CEPEP people who protested and tried to protect their contractor, ask your contractor if they are legit. Ask your contractor if they are registered. Ask them if they're paying tax. Ask them if they're paying health surcharge for you. CEPEP workers should ask their contractor that. Caller, good night.
Good night, Mr. Said. Great program, and will not be fooled with Rowley. The citizens, my phone have been ringing all day. The citizens are happy if Interpol arrest him and take him before an international court. The world warned us. Yes, the world have been warning us about state officials in this country and high office holders funding criminals with their activities and funding crime and criminals with their activities against the citizens in this country. So nobody's sorry for it. We want Interpol take him before the international court for committing and legalizing extortion of money from the citizens of this country. That is what he did. And not only him, they should take Faris for those money collected from the citizens of this country. That is indirect extortion. He extorted money under the disguise of renting buildings. And the entire PNM should be taken before an international court. So we're not sorry at all for them. And Mr. Sai, we will not be distracted from the whole issue. I know your intelligence would have briefed you already, and you know there was outrage, disappointment, and anger with the 800 police officers that all criteria is varied to absorb them into the regular police service. So now we want the little boy down in Barakpok, Penal, Mohammedville, and Saieed Ali village, his dreams are now shattered because he wanted to serve this country and getting into the police service because he overqualified. So that is why crime will never stop in the police service. And these little boys, I tell you, some of them are crying. The parents had hopes the children would get into the police service to serve. Today, all their dreams are shattered. And we are angered and angry about it, and we must not let this get away. Just like you took a leadership role with property tax, this must not happen. And Roger Alexander already said every year they're going to recruit 2,000 SRP. It has 1,200 SRP waiting. What is going to happen when you take the 2,000 and you're going to say, boy, the regular needs support and recruit 2,000 again? No good, and waiver all qualification? We are very angry in this country and disappointed. So the head of the National Security Council, if you know what is good, doctors who have been temporary for the last 10, 12 years, who have been temporary getting 6 months, 3 months, you better make all of them permanent. And then you have over 300 looking for employment. You employ them, you know. We angry over this, Mr. Sai. God bless you, you know. You don't know how God will bless your soul for what you are doing. You like Mahatma Gandhi and Nelson Mandela and Martin Luther and them fellas, you know. God bless you, man. You keep up the great work you are doing. Blessing to you and your staff, Mr. Said.
Thank you, my friends. So viewers, we are going for a short commercial break, but when we come back, TTPS reject Rowley's Interpol claim after this.
We'll be right back.
When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on the roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
Real Talk Financing is offering you 5% on a fixed deposit for 5 years and over with upfront interest. Contact our central office at 238-6716 or our San Fernando office at 242-9944. You don't want to miss this great opportunity. Invest today and watch your investment work for you.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Real Talk Report Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saieed, Managing Director of Real Talk Report Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Carney Savannah Road, Chaguanas, or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the blaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concern. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
Welcome back.
So Trinidad and Tobago, TTPS. The Trinidad and Tobago Police Service has denied Dr. Rowley claims that he was placed on an Interpol watch list. In a statement on Monday, the TTPS said checks through its Interpol bureau found no listing, and I repeat that again, found no listing, notice or alert of Dr. Rowley, and confirmed it never submitted any information to justify such a listing. The TTPS explained that Interpol action required judicial and prosecution's requests and cannot be initiated unilaterally by a commissioner. So you see, Trinidad and Tobago, the TTPS is saying this. The TTPS is saying this. So they just cannot the commissioner can't do this. You have to have judicial permission. So who is it now in the judiciary? When the TTPS did a check through all the channels, nothing was submitted. So my question is now, where's Dr. Rowley getting this information from? And was he really stopped in Antigua? That's another thing right there. But nevertheless, rejecting allegations of political interference, the TTPS insisted it remains independent and urged that public statement on such serious matter be careful, factual, to protect reputation and institutional trust. Can we trust Dr. Rowley? Can we? Ask yourself that from now going forward. Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar has urged members of her own government to avoid partying and fetting while the country remained under a state of emergency SOE. She said, this is not the time for such activities. Minister in the Ministry of Housing, Philip Alexander, confirmed the directive and defended the government decision to implement the SOE, referencing the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. Formal request for it and legal advice from attorney John Jeremy, who supported the move. Alexander acknowledged that the PM's directive to government members came after some UNC parliamentarian attended the United States Embassy Independence Day cocktail party. Listen to this.
she would prefer that we not be partying and fetting while there is a state of emergency, that we should be leading by example. This is not the time for that. There was the U.S. Embassy. They had delayed their 4th of July and it had fallen right after. But it's a big cocktail party and it's a good for making, networking. And so a bunch of us went. But she said it has not a good look now, so we're being guided.
Did she tell you that after you went? Or?
The ministers also pushed back against criticism from smaller political parties who claimed the SOE was recycled strategy from the PNM playbook. What nonsense. Scholar, good night.
Good night, Saieed. These claims made by the former Prime Minister, I don't know, but there has been a history about his credibility when it comes, of being honest. I mean, can these claims, in national interest be verified? The former Prime Minister referred to him in certain terms. It is so difficult to believe what he's saying unless and until it can be verified. Now, what I am asking, he always cast in aspersions, who was the speaker. Why don't he look at his own former minister and his speaker? Why, this man, he has resigned, but his hatred, his animosity, all these things remain there. I thought he would have gone silently into retirement, but all those comments made by the former Prime Minister, Mr. Manning, still holds true. And I would like to, some agency or whatever to come out to give any credit. Because you see the commissioner, the current commissioner dismisses everything he says. And the commission must have information on Interpol. That is the commissioner of police. So this man, I don't know, because his party is dwindling, if they are looking at some straw. This government coming, we see there's a lot of promises, we see there's a lot of changes, and I think the population should just dismiss those rhetoric from this former Prime Minister. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, my friend. So viewers, in the 72 hours following the declaration of the state of emergency last Friday, the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service conducted 185 coordinated operations, resulting in 81 arrests, 70 of whom were identified as priority offenders. Police carried out 1,185 search, seizing 8 illegal firearms, 47 rounds of ammunition, and a quantity of cannabis. Additionally, 715 traffic offenses were detected as part of the intensified road enforcement. Police Commissioner Alistair Grovero credited the result to sustained operational pressure, intelligence-driven tactics, and multi-agency collaboration aimed at disrupting crime, protecting communities, and promoting safer roads. So Trinidad and Tobago, we want to congratulate the hard-working police officers of Trinidad and Tobago as they try to make our country safe. I know for the last few years gone by, crime has been so rampant in our country, all levels of crime, whether it be a petty crime or a serious crime. Even police officers were scared for their life, because it's like, when they have a mad bull in a ring and they hear you open the gate, everybody fend for themselves. Even police were fending for themselves for the last 9 years. But we have a new commissioner. Hopefully, he will function properly and won't operate like the last 2 or 3 former Minister of National Security we had, who just didn't care what happened to Trinidad and Tobago. I hope he is not like Erla. You understand? Thus far, the inside information that I am getting on him is that he's putting down his foot, he's getting the job done. So let's see where he's going. In other news, viewers, in a significant development, that is the CEPEP project. Trinidad and Tobago, $1.4 billion jumping up in steel band. So again I ask, who is going to be held accountable for all this misrepresentation of the CEPEP company. What about Faris? We are not hearing anything from Faris. We're not hearing anything from line ministers. We're not hearing anything from ministers. Is everybody ducking? Is this the reason why former Prime Minister Keith Rowley came out now and said all these things about him? Ask yourself this. Remember Trinidad and Tobago. When you want to shift from something, all you have to do is just throw out something, and the whole country shift from it. But I am not going to stand here from Monday to Friday from 7 to 8 p.m. and mislead you. My taxpayers' money, my company paying tax, I paying tax, workers paying tax, so does every citizen of Trinidad and Tobago. We are paying tax, and we actually want to see where our tax money is going. Is it going in corruption? Okay, the UNC is revealing now all this corruption that is taking place in Trinidad and Tobago. Is there investigations going to be launched in this corruption? And how long do we have to wait before we actually see results in this corruption? Because if you're telling me, if UNC ministers are telling me that, hey, you know what? We found out this, we have evidence. We find out that we have evidence. We found out everything and we have evidence. Who is the police investigating? While my taxpayers' money is jumping up in steel band, jumping up in our FET, who is going to pay the consequences? Who is going to be charged? This is what we want to see. So from the new Attorney General, Trinidad and Tobago wants to see this. From the new Commissioner of Police, Trinidad and Tobago wants to see this. Who is going to pay? Because government come, government go, government come, government go, commissioner come, commissioner go. It's the same thing. We have all this information and yet we are acting on nothing. All the commissioners, all the ministers of national security, all the attorney generals, everyone knew how much gangs, how much gang members, how much guns we have, but yet nobody did nothing. Nobody did nothing. Are these individuals untouchable? This is what I want to ask. Is this individual so untouchable that the Attorney General can't go after them, the Commissioner of Police can't go after them, the Minister of National Security cannot go after them? Well, then why are you there then? If you cannot fix crime in Trinidad and Tobago, why are you there? Ask yourself that. Don't bring shame upon you and your family. I'm saying that tonight. So as we move on, viewers, before we go further, we're going for a short commercial break because it's this time. Housing Ministry target 20,000 new homes, viewers. After this break, we're going to let you know more.
We'll be right back.
When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on the roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
Real Talk Financing is offering you 5% on a fixed deposit for 5 years and over with upfront interest. Contact our central office at 238-6716 or our San Fernando office at 242-9944. You don't want to miss this great opportunity. Invest today and watch your investment work for you.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Realtalk Group of Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saieed, Managing Director of Realtalk Group of Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Carney Savannah Road, Chaguanas or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the glaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concern. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
Welcome back.
Welcome back, viewers. The Housing Ministry is revamping the way people apply for homes through the Housing Development Corporation, HDC, introducing a pre-qualification system to better match applicants with housing they can afford. However, the ministry is assuring incompleted and abandoned HDC house with a view to returning them to national housing stock. Minister in the Ministry of Housing, Philip Alexander, claimed that previous administration was only given homes according to ministerial allocation.
The last government were building houses and distributing them by ministerial allocation. That means if you knew the minister, you could have get a house. So all that nonsense they talk about random draw, they lied.
Responding to these concerns, Alexander said the previous PNM administration had built 4,700 homes, but admitted that frustrations remaining with low and how applicants are handled. The minister said the Prime Minister Kamala Prasad Bisasa has given a mandate to construct 20,000 homes.
The Honorable Kamala Prasad Bisasa, Prime Minister of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, has given us a mandate to build 20,000 houses this term. And we're going to do it.
Alexandra said the ministry is exploring funding through private sector collaboration and emphasized that applicant will soon be required to pre-qualify.
We are in very heavy conversations with a lot of consortiums, contractors, business people. We are interesting people in working with us in public-private partnerships. So it's not going to be handed out like jobs through ministerial allocation. There's going to be a system, there's going to be a pre-qualification system, and those who qualify to acquire a house will be in that lineup to get one in quick time.
As Alexander asked how the government will prevent preferential treatment from United National Congress affiliation or friend and family. Alexander said, Prasad Bisasa has made it clear that there will be no excuse or corruption in this housing development. Trinidad and Tobago, let me tell you something. Thousands of homes are being built. Nurses, doctors, police officers, army officials, Imagine. They cannot even qualify for a house. And the PNM administration said low-income houses. Low-income houses, but a police officer can't qualify, a doctor can't qualify, a permanent nurse can't qualify, and even an army official individuals can't qualify. So what actually is low income? Moving along. Around 8,000 patients in Trinidad and Tobago will receive free surgeries and medical care through a mission by hand international surgeries. Beginning on Monday and will continue till July 24th. Led by Trinidad-born surgeon Dr. Renaud Steve Agard, a team made up of 120 self-funded medical professionals arrived on Sunday and will work at the community hospital for 70 days. 7 days adventure for the next 20. Listen to this.
We're bringing a strong team, and thank God for the loving kindness of the people of Trinidad. So we also have, through the help of Sanka, the Seventh-day Adventist Church, we have solicited the help of the local doctors. So we have a strong contingent of local doctors that will join forces with us, and hopefully we can bring the needed help and benefit to the people of Trinidad and Tobago.
The mission aims to ease the burden of the local healthcare system by offering a range of service.
We have the skill that we could do upper GI, endoscopy, colonoscopy. We have men's health that we will be looking at. My beautiful country, some of them, we are the leading, place that have high rate of cancer, high rate of cardiovascular disease. We have 3 top cardiologists that will be there. So we'll be able to evaluate and also do some diagnostic studies. So we know that we'll be discovering some illnesses that some people never thought that they had, and we are able to treat.
So now viewers, while demand has already surpassed expectation, organizers assured that those untreated immediately will still be seen within the mission timeline.
What we have done because of the oversubscription, we have moved the cataract surgery to August 20th to the 27th. We have in touch with Dr. Jacobs. He's from India. He's one of the world's leading cataract surgery. I was with him in Papua New Guinea about a year ago, where he did 4,000 cataract surgery. And we are planning to do approximately 2,500 cataract surgery. I am not sure this has been done in the Caribbean on this side of the globe, but we are hoping to achieve that. Actually, I spoke to him 2 days ago, so the process is in the works. He has shipped the lenses and the equipments. They're on their way to Trinidad, so we are looking forward to that.
So viewers, we just want to congratulate those doctors and them who have decided to come down here and offer their help in surgeries. Well done, well done. Moving along, the Ministry of Rural Development and Local Government will procure 8 rescue boats equipped with engine amid the bursting flood relief efforts across vulnerable communities. This was confirmed by Senior Disaster Management and Coordinator at the Ministry, Mr. Jerry Davis. He was speaking during a full-scale emergency simulation exercise hosted by Sewa TT. Listen to this.
So we always have to be in to rescue people. So the ministry in this year's budget, we have allocated some funds to buy about 8 rescue boats with engines. But you may ask, well, if we have the rescue boats and the engines, are we training the personnel? Yes. We have swimming courses that are starting in about 2 weeks' time in the Tunapuna-Piako area. And this is not the first set of training. We have done that before.
Now, viewers, Mr. David also stressed that the initiative is not just about equipment, but about building a trained representative network of community volunteers.
And we have had many of the individuals who are CERT volunteers, some of them who work at the corporations. We have had them do training with the Trinidad and Tobago Coast Guard in vessel familiarization, what to do when a vessel flips, what to do when you have to drag someone from the floodwaters into the vessel. So we have done the training, and we will continue to do the training. Hopefully we can get these 8 rescue boats purchased before the end of the financial year. And, we have had many of...
So Trinidad and Tobago, welcome back to Real Talk. Viewers, we are here from Monday to Friday from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. every night, giving you the updates, the news, the breaking stories of current affairs issue that happens in Trinidad and Tobago. This is what we do. This is what this program is about. This program is funded by Saieed and my company. Viewers, we don't ask anyone for donation to air our program. We don't beg. No, we're not on that. This is just a reminder to let you know what we do every night, just to educate you, the citizens, just to let you know the do's and the don'ts, to let you know where the fraud is, where the corruption is. Because I'll tell you something, working and paying tax, we want to see better roads. We want to see upgraded facilities. We want to see better management. We want better policing. We want better health centers and hospitals. We want better internet connection. We want a proper school feeding programs. We want better schools. We want teachers that will be able to teach children. We don't want bullying in school. We are fed up of that. So viewers, until we meet again, this is Saieed saying good night and enjoy.